What's going on, everyone? So, of course, Jimmy Butler, I'm sure many of you heard by now, has officially requested a trade, and he said he's open to pretty much anywhere. And, of course, I'm getting a ton of comments and even questions in the live streams and stuff, so I decided, you know what, let's make the video, let's talk about it, let's break it down. Jimmy Butler to the Lakers. So, the only way Jimmy Butler can make his way to the Lakers would be to trade Austin Reaves. Right? You'd have to include Austin Reaves because financially, not only do you need to send out his salary, but on top of sending out his salary, you need to send out enough on top of that in order to fill out a roster. It is incredibly unlikely because you need to send out close to 52 to 53 million because the Lakers have $3.5 million in space that they can use to sign roster spots. They're $3.5 million under the second apron. And then you'd have to send out more money than take back for Jimmy Butler, which means you need to get a third team involved because Miami's in the same boat. And then on top of that, you would need to send out even more money than just Jimmy Butler's contract, which is like roughly $49 million you'd have to send out. You need to send out another like $4 to $5 million just to kind of clear enough cap space to sign, 2-3 guys on top of the other 2 or 3 guys that you need to sign with the $3.5 million, right? Because again, Jimmy Butler's making $49 million, let's call it, right? Just that alone, Rui is 17, Gabe Vincent is 11, so that's 28. Jared Vanderbilt would put you at 38. Jalen Hood-Schifino plus, say, a Jackson Hayes, or I think Christian Wood is making a little more, but that's roughly another, let's say, $7 million, right? So again, you're talking 38, 45 million just with those 5 guys, right? You need to send out a minimum of another, again, $4 million just to clear him, right? Just to clear a Jimmy Butler. So you'd either need to send out Max Christie, which would clear it, and give you a couple million, save like an extra like $2-3 million, which may be enough because you'd need to fill out essentially 5 roster spots, right? Because you bring in Jimmy Butler. So you're essentially looking for a 6-for-1 trade, and you need to fill out a roster, right? Like you can't have 12 guys on your roster. So that's where the dilemma lies. That's where it becomes essentially impossible unless the Lakers are willing to trade Austin Reaves. Because they're willing to trade Austin Reaves for Jimmy Butler, then now you could clear enough, and a team would be willing to take take some of these young guys, something like a Jalen Hood-Schifino, probably throw in a second or something like that. Right? Like you could make it work, right? And you could max the salary. Miami would probably help you just to get back Austin Reaves, or a third team could maybe take Austin Reaves, whatever, however you want to approach it, because maybe Miami's looking at it as like Austin Reaves and Tyler Hero might not make sense, right? Possibility. The other sort of hurdle that you'd have to get over is Pat Riley. Is Pat Riley going to be okay with trading Jimmy Butler to the Lakers, and particularly trading Jimmy Butler to LeBron? Right? Because he's not very happy with Jimmy Butler right now, I imagine. And we know he wasn't very happy with LeBron. And you really think he's going to go and allow Jimmy Butler and LeBron to team up together to try to win an NBA championship? I don't know. I'd be pretty surprised if that were to happen. But let's say, right? Let's talk. Let's explore some stuff a little bit, right? While I have you here. Okay, Jimmy Butler. What is this? What would that do? Would that make the Lakers a contender? Absolutely. I do have some concerns with Jimmy Butler and his fit. However, not enough to where I think it would be an issue, right? I think Jimmy Butler would be fine. Right? He's one of those guys that's willing to do the dirty work, willing to do whatever it takes, right? Whether it's 15 or 50, whatever you need him to do, he'll do it, right? Him, LeBron, and Anthony Davis would be ridiculous, especially come playoff time. Like Jimmy Butler has done more with less than probably any star in the league. And you're pairing him with LeBron James and Anthony Davis, 2 guys that have won a championship together. Now, Jimmy Butler said he's willing to go anywhere, which that's wild. Right? Like he said he's willing to go to any team as long as it's not Miami. So if that's the case, then yeah, he would be open to going to the Lakers. Plus, he'd legitimately be a contender. To me, it boils down to this. If you were to trade for Jimmy Butler, you probably have a 2, maybe 3-year window to win a championship, depending on how Jimmy, like how healthy he can stay, right? Which is a concern, the injury concerns, right? And if Jimmy's health during the regular season, you probably figure it out, probably be fine. Even if you miss like 30 games, same thing. Like, because between LeBron, AD, and Jimmy, you just need like 2 of them at any given time, and you're winning a bunch of stuff. Plus, LeBron's ability to take whatever he wants to take, and Jimmy Butler could opt out of that $50 million. I mean, if you could convince LeBron and Jimmy to take, $20 million less each, you could easily fill out a roster, right? Be like, hey, LeBron and Jimmy will both make $30 million. Right, which is equivalent to like one of them, and you'd have all this space to go and like fill out the rest of your roster, right? If the Lakers want to try to like, hey, Jimmy Butler, out of everybody on the market right now, Jimmy Butler probably gives the Lakers the best chance to win right now. Like if the Lakers really want to win a championship in LeBron's window, Jimmy Butler's probably your best bet if we're being honest, right? Because we've seen and we know what he can do, and we know what he does come the playoffs. Right? The question then becomes, do you trade Austin Reaves or do you trade Max Christie? Right? And then kind of do some like 7-for-1 trade or something like that, which is a problem. And it's very hard to pull off. Now, it also would boil down to like, what does Miami want? What else you'd have to give up? You would essentially be going all in for like a 2-year window. It depends on what the Lakers are looking to do. Do they want to... Because you could go get, like I said, a Bruce Brown and a backup center, and you probably have maybe not as good of a chance, but I don't think you'd be that far off, right? Like between like everything that you have. But LeBron James, Dorian Finney-Smith, because you'd have to keep Dorian Finney-Smith. So LeBron James, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis, keep Max Christie personally. If assuming you want to go push all your chips in and go all in, that would be your 5. LeBron and Jimmy would have to be like your pseudo point guards, which they both can. They both do it most of the time in the playoffs anyway, right? That would, like, defensively, you'd probably be the best defensive team in the league. Offensively, shooting-wise, I'd have concerns. But again, you have you'd be so big, versatile, right? Like, athletic. It's just, you're probably the best team in the league. Especially come playoff time, that experience alone would probably get you to the conference finals, right? Not to mention the talent and everything. If the Lakers really want to win right now, then sure, go get Jimmy Butler. It's a risk, though. It's a big risk because you not only have to trade several future pieces, which is fine, right? But you're also hoping that Jimmy Butler, 1, can stay healthy, and 2, actually like fits with LeBron and AD, which again, I do think he will, but there are concerns, right? And Jimmy Butler would have to take the regular season more serious, which again is an issue. He'd have to find his love again, which he said himself he needs to, and he probably won't be able to do it in Miami, right? There are certain things that would need to kind of line up for it to work. However, come playoff time, good luck beating the Lakers, right? I mean, again, it is so hard to beat Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Imagine beating Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis. Oh, yeah, and by the way, they have LeBron James too. I understand it's the West and the East are not the same thing, but nobody would want to play the Lakers. I've said the same thing about Jimmy and Steph and all that, but you'd have LeBron and Anthony Davis. Right? You would have to push all your chips in to make it happen. Personally, if you wanted to take that kind of risk, that kind of gamble, I'd almost prefer you just go take the flyer on a Brandon Ingram. Now, look, I'm not saying Brandon Ingram's better than Jimmy Butler by any stretch, especially come playoff time. I mean, Jimmy Butler might be the best player in the league come playoff time, but Brandon Ingram gives you a lot of the same things that you'd be looking for from Jimmy Butler, particularly that mid-range ability, the ability to close and hit buckets down the stretch, will get you 20-plus a night, right? Like, you wouldn't have to trade Austin Reaves. You wouldn't have to trade the farm, really, and it still gives you and maintains flexibility in the offseason, right? Like, one, I don't think he's going to get 40 plus million, and two, even if he does, again, LeBron can take a discount. So you still can maintain some flexibility. And if you sign Brandon Ingram, say 30 million, especially if LeBron takes a discount, right? Like the only team that really has the money to sign 40 million to Brandon Ingram is like the Nets. Is Brooklyn really going to do that? Probably not. I personally would stay away from Jimmy Butler. I like Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's great. Stay away from Jimmy Butler, personally. If the Lakers magically pull off Jimmy Butler trade, sure, I'll be stoked. Like, don't get me wrong, I will be super thrilled. Right? If you told me tomorrow the Lakers pull Jimmy Butler, I think we might potentially win a championship if healthy. Right? Like, if you want to just essentially win in the next 2 years and then figure it out from there, then yes, go get Jimmy Butler. Right? Like, if you want essentially to maximize your 2-year window with LeBron James, go get Jimmy Butler, figure it out from there. Otherwise, stay the course and just find those right pieces. But as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle. Do you think they should get Jimmy Butler? Do you think they should stay away from Jimmy Butler? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. It's me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.